Yo, what is going on, everybody? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate discussion video. In today's topic, we are going to be talking about potential DLC. Now, the other day I made a video just kind of putting aside for a second, no argument, just kind of saying that the Grinch leak is real. Hypothetically, it's real, and how would you guys feel about that? And, the video did very well, and I got a lot of feedback. A lot of people, which I kind of expected, were extremely happy. Really high percentage for characters. People were even putting like 1 out of 10 a rating for how hyped they are for characters, which was cool to see. But there was definitely quite a bit of comments that were like, I'm very happy, but it's missing character A, B, or C. So that's kind of what led me to start to think, all right, how about DLC, So if, again, hypothetically, the Grinch leak is real, those characters are in, all right, let's turn our attention to DLC. Who is likely for DLC? And on the screen in front of you, you can see I got a bunch of characters. Some you might not agree with, some you might agree with. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Let me know down in the comments. But I just kind of figured from the most talked about, maybe, most potential-wise these characters have, I think this is kind of the group that we're looking at for the most part. Again, you might not agree. And it's not about if you like a character or not, because there's characters on this list that I would not want in the game. I'm not hyped for, I wouldn't be excited for, I'm not lobbying for, but I just think that they have a potential. And yes, I put Waluigi on there because I'm a fan, but I'll explain that once I get there. But let's just kind of jump into it. And I kind of broke it down into 3 tiers. Tier 1, which I believe has the best chance at being DLC characters. Tier 2, step below that. And then the Tier 3, I think, kind of just the last group of characters that, are on this list. So let's start off with Tier 1. And as you can see, go left to right here. Bandana Waddle Dee, Dixie Kong, Skull Kid. Have the Pokeball symbol, because if Incineroar or a Pokemon Gen 7 rep is not on the roster for Smash Ultimate, the base roster, I've always said this. I said this in a roster prediction I did back in July, and I'm still standing behind that. If there is no new Pokemon rep in the base roster, I'm firmly behind them doing, or just kind of getting behind a Gen 8 Pokemon and pushing that kind of as the face, and then that Pokemon will get into Smash Ultimate as DLC, and I think it's kind of starting to look like that. So that's why I got the Pokeball symbol, because I don't know any Pokemon in Gen 8, and we already know the next generation of Pokemon is going to be on the Nintendo Switch, and that has the potential to be absolutely enormous and so huge. Great potential for Nintendo, so having a Pokemon as DLC character, I think that's almost a lock at this point. But then, moving on, I don't think it's going to be both of these characters. I think one or the other. Elma, I've learned a lot that there's a big fan base for Elma wanting her inclusion. And then there's also Rex and Pyra, who kind of started to get their, character development just after, I guess, the Smash Ultimate roster was finalized back in December of 2015, so they slightly missed out on the cut. Same thing with Springman, but, I don't think Xenoblade as a franchise will get 2 reps, and yes, I count Rex and Pyra as one. They'd work in tandem with each other, so I kind of have them as one character, but I think it would be either Elma or Rex and Pyra for a Xenoblade rep. I think that's very highly likely. Again, first party, this is Smash Ultimate. They're going to, if the characters talked about and, hyped, they're definitely going to be Tier 1. And then, of course, like I said, Springman, Nintendo's newest, or one of Nintendo's, newest kind of big franchises, ARMS, sold over 1.5 million copies, which is really good for a, brand new series, new IP, did very well. Springman is definitely the face of the franchise, so that's why it's him instead of Ribbon Girl or Twintel or somebody else. But you could also make, one of them an Echo Fighter. Would make sense. So, yeah, Tier 1. So, Bandana Waddle Dee, just real quick, run through all these characters. I mean, one of the last couple, in my eyes, and I think a lot of people, one of the last few handful of Nintendo All-Stars. And I think that goes same for Dixie Kong. These are, 2 of the top Nintendo All-Stars that are actually left. And I kind of think it's a crime for either one of them not to be on the roster, whether it's base roster or DLC. Both of these characters deserve to be in so badly. And again, same thing with Skull Kid. You could try to make an argument, and you probably can make an argument for any other Legend of Zelda character, but Skull Kid, there was that rumor kind of going around he could be a boss if there's some sort of boss mode, which there seems to be because we got Rathalos and was it Dracula, I believe, from Castlevania. They seem to be bosses. So if Skull Kid is not a boss, I think he's not in the, if he's not in the Grinch leak. I know some people think they see him in front of Mach Rider's bike, separate discussion, but I think Skull Kid is definitely in that upper echelon of characters to be talked about. Again, I already kind of made the case for Pokemon. They're going to get behind a Gen 8 Pokemon, and that will be the one that they'll make DLC character for Smash Ultimate. But again, newer franchises here, kind of Xenoblade. I mean, it's not really newer franchise, but, an upcoming franchise pretty much, in the last few years for Xenoblade and ARMS, and, going into it, they were kind of expected, right when Smash Ultimate got announced, these characters were pretty much like, hey, these are locks, but then we kind of figured out, when the game started getting developed, and they kind of missed the cut, but everyone pretty much pushed them to the front of their DLC expected list, so it makes sense for me, and that's what I got for Tier 1. You might not agree here and there, but these are my opinions. Let me know what you would change in the comments. So let's move on to Tier 2. In Tier 2, I kind of have grouped as Echo Fighters / kind of third parties. Now, I didn't want to put any third parties as Tier 1 because by no means is any third party character anywhere close to a lock. Never would expect that. Never. I don't care who you are. No third party's a lock. But Echo Fighters, Medusa from Kid Icarus makes a ton of sense. Black Knight already did pretty well in the Smash ballot. Kind of that thing, some people think he's not in the background of a stage that he should be. And he could be an Echo Fighter of Ike, so there's a possibility there. Yes, there are too many Fire Emblem fighters, but this would be DLC and, a couple more Echo Fighters just to beef up the DLC roster. I'm fine with that. Octoling, pretty much same thing. Inkling deserved its spot, as a big franchise for Nintendo, and kind of seeing Octoling get an Echo Fighter / kind of a semi-Echo Fighter route. Moveset makes 100% sense to me. I can see that happening very easily. Paper Mario, always been a huge fan favorite, no matter what you think of his last couple games, but Paper Mario's always up there in terms of popularity. Mario's the franchise, the face, the mascot of Nintendo. If anybody deserves multiple reps, I know there's already Mario, Dr. Mario, but if anybody deserves 3 or more reps of themselves, it's Mario. Plain and simple. Now to the third party. Rayman was definitely thought of as that almost lock character, for third party to be in Smash Ultimate because Nintendo and Ubisoft have always worked extremely well together. Plus, Ubisoft does not have a rep in Smash. Now, nowhere is there a rule that, oh, you're a big third-party company, you get a rep in Smash. That is not a rule. It's just speculated very heavily on from the Smash community, and I'm a part of that. I had Rayman on my roster. I pretty much thought he was a lock when Smash Ultimate first got announced in that Inkling kind of teaser trailer. I really thought Rayman had his spot. I thought it was going to happen. But if we're going by the Grinch leak, that ain't happening. Kind of sad. DLC, I think, is a pretty good likeliness. Now, Shantae, some people, and about 2 months ago, I'd be in that same boat. Shantae had no chance. But talking to people in my comment section and other people's videos, I've come to respect Shantae, and I can see the passion for her and, from her fan base. Plus, it would be really cool to have, an indie rep in Smash. Now, some people are like, indie's not that big. If you're a third-party character getting into Smash, you have to be iconic. And, you can make an argument Shantae's not an iconic third-party / indie rep. I mean, she's a big indie rep, yeah, but not third-party. Like the names like Rayman or Steve, kind of Monster Hunter. But you got, Mega Man, the Shadows, the Sonics, the Clouds. You get what I'm going at. But Shantae, I think, if we've learned anything from the Smash ballot and up to this point, very vocal fan base. The Way Forward games, I'm pretty sure that's who makes the Shantae games, have done a tremendous amount of kind of work to, help with the design and all sorts of different things to help Shantae just get into the game, and they've kind of been a little bit quiet. Maybe they know something We don't. Who knows? But moving on to Monster Hunter, absolutely big time. Just history with Nintendo. They have so many games across multiple Nintendo systems, handhelds that do very well in sales. A huge franchise. You could argue, well, who would be the actual face? The character for Monster Hunter. I kind of went with this one right here. It's kind of the Marvel versus Capcom iteration of Monster Hunter. So I think that's kind of who they would go with as a playable character. And I believe if my memory is correct here, Monster Hunter was cut. If we're going by the Grinch leak, I think somebody was telling me there's 3 characters, and I don't remember all 3. I think it was Monster Hunter for sure. I think it was Ray MK1. If I could be wrong, and I don't remember the third one. Was it Paper Mario? I honestly don't remember. But Monster Hunter, good history, third party. Has Rathalos already in the game? Maybe Monster Hunter was actually planned, but they decided to go against it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, Steve. If Banjo-Kazooie absolutely happens from this Grinch leak, maybe, Nintendo, Microsoft get together again and say, hey, how about DLC? What do you think about Steve? Would you be willing to put him in? Steve wasn't really a character that was ever really highly thought of until a leak kind of came out. Was it the guidebook leak? Or I don't remember. There was some leak about a month and a half, 2 months ago that came out and said Steve, and the wave of momentum for Steve and, the vocalness for the fan base pushing for Steve to be in Smash has grown exponentially. So Steve, I think, third party, a pretty good chance. That's why he's only tier 2. And I said, third party, I don't think third parties are a lock by any means. But let's kind of move on to tier 3 now. And we have a couple third parties / first parties now. To me, I don't see Crash or Spyro extremely likely. I think there's definitely other third party characters that are ahead of them for likeliness for DLC. Same can go for Sora. Some people don't think Sora at all will ever happen. But then again, nobody ever thought Cloud was going to happen. And look what did. We got Cloud. Such a great moment. I still remember the reveal trailer like it was yesterday. Still, my jaw's still on the floor from that. So Sora's kind of in that dream character kind of category. Is it iffy for Sora? Yeah, that's why tier 3 out of all these characters I have. I guess you could bump. I have the Fire Emblem logo. High chances are we're going to get a character from Fire Emblem, the Three Houses, as a playable rep. I guess you could have bumped up Fire Emblem character to maybe tier 2. It's just a very good likeliness. Again, it's a future game that's coming out, and Nintendo, another good way to support it and, is to kind of put a character from that game in Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Reaches such a wide variety of people and audiences. Why not, promote another game within it? A new one that's coming out in the Three Houses with somebody from that game. I guess Elderguard. I think that's how you say her name. That's probably the best likeliness or best chance, in my opinion. And then moving on to the right here, we got Psylux from Metroid Prime. Psylux in general seems to be, and this is kind of still speculation, but Psylux seems to play a pretty big role, or at least a pretty decent role in the upcoming Metroid Prime 4. And if that's possible, same thing with Fire Emblem, the Three Houses. It's a future game. Promote it with a DLC character in Smash, kind of get more people, getting eyes on the character and know about the character, and maybe they fall in love with that character, and then they take a chance and buy the game. Who knows? I think it's a good way. Smash Bros. Is such a great way to just promote other characters, other franchises, so absolutely. And then, of course, probably the most controversial one to a lot of people, Waluigi, and I've made plenty of cases for him. I made videos on, why haven't we seen him in any videos? We haven't seen him in any pics. I know he's on the official website listed under assist trophies, but we haven't actually seen him since E3 when he got KO'd off the stage by Marth. Has not been seen since. This is Sakurai we're dealing with. It is a possible troll. Get us to think he's an assist trophy. Eliminate him, smash him off stage, and then that's how his reveal trailer could start. Somebody goes to grab like an assist trophy and it's empty for some reason. Or, you know, they grab it and Waluigi pops out, and instead of doing what he would do for his assist trophies, he turns on whoever, you know, opened up his assist trophy, and he just starts attacking that person. You know, whatever it could be. There's good possibilities. I've made, you know, evidence. I've made points for him in the past. If you haven't seen that video and you are a Waluigi fan, check it out. It's on my channel somewhere. It's like Waluigi DLC first character. Just look that up, and I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, so these are the characters that I have, tier 1, 2, and 3. Let me know what you guys think. Are these the most likely front runners for characters for DLC, or am I missing somebody obvious that you think? And again, it's not characters that I personally like. You know, of course, I love most of these characters, but these are not characters that I'm only lobbying for. These are characters I personally think have a really good chance at being DLC if they are indeed not on the main roster. So let me know what you guys think down below. Who would you like? Do you guys agree with this? Is this like the group of characters that we're looking at for third-party support? Or not third-party support, DLC characters. What do you guys think? Again, Bandana Waddle Dee, Black Knight, Crash, Dixie, Elma, Monster Hunter, Octoling, Paper Mario, Rex and Pyra, Rayman, Shantae, Skull Kid, Sora, Springman, Spyro. I just realized I don't have Medusa on here. Oops. Well, Medusa's on here as well. Steve from Minecraft, Psylux, Waluigi, Pokemon Gen 8 rep, and then a Fire Emblem 3 Houses rep. Those are, I think, that's the group I kind of have it narrowed down to that we're looking for third party. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Who am I missing? Who do you like? Who do you think is the front runner? If you want to give your top 5, top 10, or even just list them in order from what you think from this list, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Anyway, that is all I got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little discussion, kind of hypothetical video. And yeah, hopefully hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.